Time's arrow marches forward, but these child stars are begging for it to stop. Let's face it, once you get fame, it's hard to let it go. Even worse, sometimes you corrupt yourself trying to get that limelight back on you. If this video is already getting too real for you, then we encourage you to turn away. Just know you're missing out on some fantastic entries and stories. This list isn't all doom and gloom, we promise. Viewers that hang around will see exactly what their favorite childhood stars are up to now.
I see dead people.
After all, don't you want to know what Brenda Song and Drake Bell are doing now? Yes, Haley, and we see dead careers, but you don't see us bragging. So when we say Hollywood won't hire him, what exactly do we mean? Well, here's what you need to understand. We're talking about a clear leading role in a large studio movie, hence why OSMENT reaches our criteria. Haley Joel Osment started his acting career in a Pizza Hut commercial. From there, he rose quickly into feature film roles and first debuted in Hollywood as Forrest Gump's kid. However, everyone clearly remembers him for his now more than iconic role as Cole Sear in Sixth Sense, or as most fans refer to him, that one kid who sees dead people and Bruce Willis. The reality is, Osment never stopped acting. He didn't sink his career with poor decisions, all he did was grow up. He's mostly messed around with Broadway theater and indie films. He got a degree in acting, which must have been torture in college. Seriously, how many of his classmates asked him if he was seeing dead people? Probably way too many, but that's just the price of fame. So oddly enough, Brenda Song also got her start in a pizza commercial. She was in a Little Caesars TV spot, which is just too odd to be a coincidence, right? Like, Hollywood talent scouts must be scouring tapes of pizza commercials just searching for child actors. At least, it certainly feels that way. Anyways, let's stop talking about pizza. It's too distracting from the point and it's making me hungry, which is bothering most of our viewers. A lot of you watching this feel like Brenda Song could get hired in Hollywood. Allow us to explain the reason we put London Tipton on this list. It'll make sense, trust us. Yes, Song is still active in the industry, but this is the former Queen of Disney. She was supposed to be an A-list actor at this point. Instead, she's a cameo actor who shows up in television shows and makes you Google Sweet Life of Zack and Cody for the 13th time. There's no question she's making a living and that she made it. The real truth, though, is that she hasn't been in a big Hollywood film since The Social Network. We didn't want to put him on here, honestly. It's a shame to see Drake Bell on this list, but we need to be truthful. Drake Bell never recovered from the financial flop that was Superhero Movie. It feels like Hollywood is punishing him now for the role. Which, yeah, we don't blame them. Oh god, it's just so horrible to look at! Quick, come back to Drake and Josh! To this point, none of our entries had a real low point. Drake Bell is the first one with that honor. He was in a massive accident in 2005 that was not his fault but required a lot of surgery. In later years, he did get a few DUIs, but his debt and house foreclosure are probably his lowest points. Nowadays, Bell is making a bit of a comeback. For a long time, he used voice actor roles to supplement his income and pay off debt. He's out of the hole his money decisions caused. Now he's back in the right headspace to make music again and star in low-key indie movies. It's not the pinnacle of what he was at, but it's something. Angus T. Jones is the first of our child stars that voluntarily left his role in a big Hollywood production. Jones was the former child actor in 2.5 Men, but eventually felt worn out by the part. Well, that's putting it simply, but don't worry, that's not gonna get unwrapped. Jones is also the first entry on this list that really is known for one role. His character Jake Harper is his only important part, and it feels unlikely he'll ever top it in the future. On the bright side, Jones did become one of the highest paid child actors of all time. He made over $300,000 per episode for a full season. That's over $2.78 million by the end. That's some serious dough for a 17-year-old. Now to talk about the big ol' elephant in the room. All you need to know is Jones has rediscovered his beliefs as he turned 18. He left the show and openly discussed how uncomfortable his later storylines made him. It's a genuinely justified reason for leaving such a successful show. Orlando Brown played an extra in Straight Outta Compton. Think about the implications of that statement. In the early 2000s, a statement like that would have blown your mind. Brown was a rising star at the time. Why would he be limited to such a minor part in a huge blockbuster film? Honestly, it's amazing he even got credit for the role. After all he's been through, Brown has found it hard to get consistent work. You probably know him best for his part as Eddie on That's So Raven. For a little while, Brown was the actor that everyone expected big things from soon. It never came to fruition though. He peaked at That's So Raven and trouble quickly became synonymous with the actor. He's been arrested multiple times, and every time he gets charged with resisting arrest or obstruction of justice. Well, maybe not every time, but it's undoubtedly a recurring theme. Lately though, Brown is best known for his, spirited appearance on Dr. Phil. The excellent news is Orlando Brown is recovering and correcting his life path. Still, it's doubtful he'll get anything outside of extra roles in Hollywood anytime soon. Pause. Before we move on, if you haven't already, subscribe to The Binger, and don't forget to turn on notifications because we all know how YouTube can be sometimes. And if you're on mobile, you can turn on notifications through YouTube settings. Now, let's get back to the video. What can be said about Lindsay Lohan that hasn't already been said? The tabloids covered her religiously in the mid-2000s and snatched any news of her as quickly as it happened. She's become the poster child of fame fallout and the crash of popularity that can occur to child actors. She's not the first actress/singer to drop into a spiral, and sadly, she won't be the last. However, there was a time before all the noise and controversy. Back then, life was simpler. All Lindsay Lohan did was set traps for parents, switch bodies with her movie mom, and drive a semi-conscious automobile named Herbie. Behind the scenes, she was struggling though, and it all bubbled to the surface eventually. Here's a new reality though. Lindsay Lohan doesn't need Hollywood, and Hollywood doesn't need her. The two are finally mutually split. Lohan has navigated the new worlds of independent media influencers brilliantly. She started to rise back up and find a new niche. She even has her own reality show where she controls the messaging. It took years to happen, but Lohan finally took back her life narrative. Not gonna lie, we almost forgot about Zachary Ty Bryan. In our defense, it appears that Hollywood did back in 2009. So, you know, we wouldn't be the first to do that. Oh gosh, are we being too mean to the guy? Let's be real, he hasn't done a lot to deserve it. Bryan is one of our older child stars on our list. In fact, there's probably a large portion of our viewers Googling him as we speak. It's all good. We'll give you a second. Go ahead. We'll be right here waiting for you. Heck, we'll even stall to provide you with some more Google time. That way, you can quickly scan his Wikipedia page. Got it? Good. For those who don't know, he was one of the kids in Home Improvement. From there, Bryan continued to appear in small roles in a few television shows like Smallville and Veronica Mars. See, now you realize how old he is, right? The trouble is, Bryan never did anything shocking to earn Hollywood's scorn. He just faded away, like Spider-Man in Endgame. Yes, here is our 80s star to throw it way back. Corey Feldman recently came back into the spotlight for his activism and his views on the Me Too movement. For our younger viewers, Feldman was a famous child actor who played characters in Gremlins, The Goonies, Stand By Me, and The Lost Boys. Like many of the entries on this list, he had his share of struggles growing up. Part of the reason we wanted to include Feldman in this video is for his story. He shows us behind-the-scenes trauma that can occur for many of these young actors. Many times, we have no idea what kind of things happen outside of the frame of the show or movie. From Feldman's story, we see that it's not always an easy road to celebrity status. Ultimately, Feldman doesn't get hired anymore due to his age. He doesn't read as the parent figure or elder in movies. He just wasn't meant for the roles, and we're pretty sure Feldman's okay with that fact. He just wants to use his platform to protect new child stars emerging in the industry. Not even former Baywatch star Jeremy Jackson can save himself from this list. The recent redux of the show turns movie has us checking in on some of the old stars. Looking back on it reminded us of all the turbulence Jackson went through after he left the show. We're not sure what else we can mention from Jackson's filmography that would help you recognize him now. Seriously, all his credits after Baywatch are just reality shows and checkups on talk shows, which makes sense given the tape and the rehab stints he went through after the show. Maybe staying low on the tabloid radar and keeping his story his own is the right move. Jackson is the perfect example of how to control the narrative. His life wasn't perfect, but fans of Baywatch forgave him quickly because he owned his mistakes. We're not here to tell you to do the same. The only thing we're pointing out is how different his spiral sputtered out compared to others on this list. Well, part of that is definitely his less notable status in the world of Hollywood, but still. We round this video out with one of the most famous child actors of all time. Do we even need to tell you where you know him from? Exactly. He's played an iconic role in a few feature films, and his life after Home Alone is just as publicized. There's no question he deserves an entry. Unlike Brenda Song and Haley Joel Osment, Culkin's connection to pizza runs a little deeper. He actually was in a comedy rock band called the Pizza Underground. See, so many child actors find their way back to pizza. Quick, someone get us a tinfoil hat! We're kidding, of course. We don't want to be associated with pizza-related conspiracy theories. Anyways, Culkin has seen a resurgence as of late. He's found the humor in his life growing up and now runs a comedy media outlet called Bunny Ears. He's finally back into acting in a way that he feels comfortable with and willing to do. Who can forget his commercial parody of Home Alone? He and Brenda Song are even together. So, things work out in the end. Macaulay Culkin is proof. With that, our video is complete. Did we leave out any child stars you think Hollywood won't hire anymore? Let us know below in the comments. Don't forget, you can always like and subscribe to keep up to date with everything we make here on The Binger. We post daily, so tune in soon for another video.